What's up, you fools? Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. It is day 6 of rehearsals, if I'm still counting right, and it was probably one of our longest days yet. It is the longest day, boy, am I kidding, where we had a bunch of semifinals rehearse for the second time, as well as the Big Five rehearse for the first time, but we're going to do that in a different video. Right now, Zack and I will focus on the semifinalists that rehearsed today, which includes 2 from the semifinal 1 and an additional 9 from semifinal 2. So a total of 11 acts, I believe, rehearsed. They had 20 minutes, and this was their second round, as I said. So they've seen the stage before, they've rehearsed before. Some of them make good changes, some bad changes, maybe not. We're going to talk with them real quick. Now, every person gets like 30 seconds or so for each country, just to kind of get what we're thinking, and then we share our top 3. So, Zack, why don't you go first? Let's talk about Greece. What are your thoughts?
So I thought, so many people were worried about the staging and the changes, the lack of the lotus blossom on the floor. I don't miss it. I don't think people will miss it. The televiewers at home need not worry. Fans of Greece need not worry. I think Greece still has a comfortable spot in the final.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. And during our live stream, I saw a lot of people then they watched the clip that was put on by YouTube, by Eurovision.tv, and they were disappointed with the clip. So I haven't watched that particular 30 seconds yet, why they got that impression. But I saw this thing like 3 times today again, and it looks great to me. So I'm slightly confused why people felt that way. So my view is just as Zack's. This looks good, and I think they're on the right path to the finals. I just do. What about San Marino?
Yeah, San Marino had a lot of improvements. They got rid of those horrible microphones. The choreography is still a little kitsch. The backup singers are kind of left out a bit, but I think it's a vast improvement, and I think it's going to be a worthy closer, a semifinal 1.
Yes, that's basically how I feel. As you said, the megaphones are gone. I will never like the choreography. I don't like the dancing. It seems not very elegant or just not very professional to me, but the shots are way better now. I feel Serhat is loosening up and it looks better than ever. This was a great run through. I still consider this in the running for qualifying. I don't know why, because maybe of the running order and just a feel, but it was definitely an improvement. I think that's what we're looking for, the best improved, one of the better, most improved rehearsals of the day. What about Armenia? We're actually moving on now to the second semifinal, because these were semifinalists semifinals from the first one. This is now the second one, starting with Armenia. Subuk?
Yeah, so most improved performance rehearsal of the day, I think. I think they really got Subuk in a really comfortable position, and I'm not sure if it's just second rehearsal, her being more comfortable on stage, or if it was just a change in the outfit. So now she's in a pantsuit with some chain link shoulders. You could just tell she was so much more comfortable in that outfit, and she just really knocked it out the park. So I think, some of my initial concerns about Armenia may be mitigated a bit.
Yes. No, I'm in the same boat there, and she definitely brought the attitude as well, which is fine. During the first rehearsal we did, and we said we missed that, and I think maybe if it's just the closing or maybe the lighting, that she's done it a few times. She just really giving attitude, like moving from one camera to the other, and really that is what I was looking for. Does the stage feel empty? Maybe a little bit, but good camera shots help it for sure, and the smoke effect certainly fills it up a lot as well. So this is a significant improvement. I agree with that as well. Who is next? Oh, Ireland. Sarah McTurnan. Any changes? Any improvements? What do you think?
That worries me when you say who is next. Oh, Ireland, because they're in that position where you can forget where they are. Number 2, sort of this dreaded position, and I think Ireland really builds upon the stage, the pop art background. Not many changes. I mean, there were changes, the addition of the ice cream sundaes, but it really didn't do much for me. But I still feel they have a good, strong performance in place, and it can only get better from here.
Yes, it will not be for everyone, the staging, right? As you said, they added the Sundays thing. Some people like it, some didn't. I don't think, since most people won't know that it wasn't there before, it wouldn't matter. I think it's sweet, and I think it really helps the song to be more memorable. The song itself, as certain songs, are not necessarily the best choice for a competition. That doesn't make them a bad song. It just makes them a little less competitive when it comes to that kind of, event. That being said, I do feel the staging is coming together. They feel almost ready. The issues that Sarah had initially, like with breathing, where she was running out of breath, have been improved a lot. So I think they're on the right track as well. So much improvement there as well. How about Moldova? Ana Orbescu and Stay.
Yeah, they. It seems like each semi has their performers that have issues, and this semi, it's definitely Moldova. They are still struggling to get the camera angles right. They're really struggling to figure out what's going to be the focus point. Is it going to be Anna? Is it going to be the sand art or snow art, excuse me, happening live, or is it going to be the gorgeous backdrop? There's just not much focus right now, and I feel like there's just really a kitchen sink approach, and it's disappointing for me because Moldova always brings the crazy in a good way, and this year it's just not adding up right.
It's not. It is really frustrating to me as well because, once again, last time they rehearsed, we didn't get really a whole run through, just one or so. And today is the same thing. We got like that 1 2/3 through, and then I stopped again. Then I had only one more, and I'm like, how do you get this already? It looks so disjointed and wrong. And I feel like it's not coming together. That being said, you can make the case it worked in 2011, could work in 2018, 19 actually, excuse me. It's not jiving with me. It's just not coming together. As I said, there is a disjoint. Is it the focus on the snow lady? Is it on the singer? It feels like they don't even know yet. And you can see how the hands that are on the backdrop don't really are synced up with the actual snow lady. I almost said stand again. So it's not coming together for me right now, I must say. How about Switzerland, Luca?
Oh yeah. Another song that already had a good run through first rehearsal, second rehearsal. They really took care of some of the camera issues. They really were tinkering with a lot of shots, particularly during the slow part, the breakdown of the song about the 2-minute mark, where things go really soft. And they tried a lot of different angles, so they have a lot of options that they can work with, all of which looked really good. So now it's just decision time, figuring out what they want to do. But intro is very strong. Him entering as a silhouette and then slowly getting lighter and lighter. So I think, again, Switzerland is going to be happy to be back in the final for the first time in years.
Yes, I cannot see this one not qualifying. It is definitely a upbeat song, and it is fun. And I do like the choreography. I do like it's energetic. I like the dancers. Luca can dance as well. He learned to focus on his singing as well. So when he has to sing, he sings. When he can dance, he dances. So, and I think that's very clever. The camera angles is much better. They're really energetic, and the colors are fun. I do like the red scheme, and I think they gave him probably like 70% today, right? There's still more to give, but it's a rehearsal. So I'm looking forward during the dress rehearsal period where they're going to really show us the full energy, and that's all I need. But other than that, it was a really good rehearsal. I would agree with that. Latvia.
What can I say about Latvia? Well, unfortunately, not much. It's kind of just there. It's a really nice piece, but I really feel it's going to get lost in the mix, unfortunately. What they've done with what they can do with the song is quite nice, but I've been saying it today, a lot of the energy from the national performances, from the national finals, have been sucked away on the Eurovision stage, and I'm not sure why. And I feel like Latvia is one of those cases. They had such really good cinematography in the national final clip that you can find on Eurovision's YouTube, but I'm just not seeing it here.
I'm having the same issue, actually, but it's maybe because I've seen it so many times now, and that song, you can only listen to it so much before it really fades away, and I think that was my issue here. The staging, basically what we're saying is the song is ready for the semis. The staging is in, the color, everything is ready. So it just comes down to, I want to see the full dress rehearsal and see if I feel just as kind of bored as I was today. But again, this is probably unfair towards Carousel because, we've seen the song rehearsed so many times. It was just there for me today, but there was nothing wrong with this rehearsal. It was just, we're ready for the dress rehearsal, I guess. Romania is the peony.
Romania, yeah. So I think a lot of people said the first rehearsal she was a little too scary, too possessed, and I actually kind of like that. Like, if you're going to go all out, be in it. And I kind of made the joke that she looked like the vampire mistress of Melvin, who's angry that he left her on a Sunday to go sing at Eurovision 2017. And now I kind of use the great 18, Great Expectations metaphor that this is a young Miss Havisham sitting there angry, waiting by her broken clock. And I think it works to a point. But I do prefer kind of a little bit more of the crazy from Romania's first rehearsal than this one. But that's not a bad thing. I still think they have a pretty good package overall.
Yes, it is all. I liked it as well. Now she's going more. She has like her hair almost. She looks like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to me. So that is also an interesting look. I like the creepy part as well. But I understand why they may think that maybe turn off to some people. So you have to weigh that in as well. Another performance, they are ready for the semis, I think. There is vocally, she's fantastic. Love her voice, love that big note. And yeah, I don't have nothing else to add. I think they're ready. Wish it was a little bit more scary, but hey, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. Moving from scary to cute, Denmark.
Yeah, there's almost this theme of scary and creepy this year at Eurovision. And then you have this saccharine sweet Denmark song. And it's getting catchy. It is growing on me. But there's still some issues there regarding the transition from her going on the stage floor to the giant chair, and they still haven't figured that out. And I feel like their solution right now is just put a shot on one of the backup dancers for about 2 or 3 seconds, and it's just awkward. So I think they really need to figure that part out. There's just some transition movement stage parts that need to be tinkered around still.
Yeah, that's the biggest part, and I think we pointed that out in our first video as well. So this is not comes as news. Is I get distracted by the backup singers. Not that they're bad or anything, but I don't know what it is. I feel as they should have been singing along the melody rather than just the part. And I was like, why are they doing that? You know, it's just, and they have the backup singer that is doing actually the melody somewhere behind the scenes. So that is always confusing to me.
It's just so calm and collected that it's almost kind of creepy in that sense. It's like everything so sweet and so calm and serene that, I don't know, it doesn't have the Anna Rossellini in Switzerland 2011. This is what I compare that to. And there was something about that seemed a little bit more like, you could tell they were all into it, even if they were hamming it up. But this is just a little blasé, yeah.
Considering that was my number 1 in 2011, I can totally see where you're coming from, yes. It was fine to me. Some people saying that she has like that look that kind of not creeps people out, but it feels them weird the way she looks into the camera. It doesn't bother me. I like eye connection, so I'm all in favor of that. Let's move on to one of the big betting odds favorites, Sweden. What do you think today?
Yeah, vast improvement in the staging. I mean, it had good staging beforehand. They just switched a lot of the white backdrops to gold backdrops. Really stunning. They got the backup dancer or backup singers kind of more positioned in the spaces. So it's kind of this pushback to the Melody Festival and staging, but also adding some of the new things they incorporated in the first rehearsal. So it's kind of a scaling back to make it work a little bit better. But I think this is a pretty good, solid performance. And it has soul, you know, for the first time in many years that Sweden has been accused of lacking. They have it this year. So I think it's got a lot of good potential.
Yes. I love that they continue to give the backup singers the focus and attention that they deserve because they really elevate the song. It starts off great. I still like the song. I'm not just saying it doesn't like the song. I like the song, but once that all starts, it's like, oh my God, this is so good.
This song is the backup singers, let's be honest. It's John and the backup singers' interactions and charisma with one another.
Yes.
So they're maximizing that, and that's smart.
And the audience, I mean, the press center was responding very well to it as well today. So you can see it just captivates people. People get so excited about it, and there's a reason with John's charisma and big smile. You have to love him. It's just impossible. So yes, it was another great run through. I think they are good to go as well. Put them on the We're Ready list. The last one to rehearse from the semifinalists was Austria, Panda. We were very impressed with the first rehearsal. We still feeling the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like there's much they did with this rehearsal. So it was a good rehearsal. I guess, you know, it was my concern about Austria. It's coming right after Sweden, so it's almost this cool down that's happening. And I guess that was my fear that I had after the first rehearsal, and we didn't get to see it because of the switching of the two countries. But yeah, it was there. It was really nice. It was really well done. I think you're more into its chances for qualification than I am at this point.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm still not convinced, but I do think this screams jury favorite to me, and that's why I feel that I'm still concerned about the televoters. But I think they did the most they can to really elevate that song. Panda's in the moment. The lighting is beautiful, and today there were a bunch of other folks for the first time in the press center seeing and I heard like this ooh moment, and it was a really cool thing, and I think that could happen again with the viewer. So I think she continues to deliver, and there's not much we can do. So we can talk all day about this, but let's share our top 3 of the day, the most impressive rehearsals, and then the one that we feel like, not so much. Third place. Zach, tell me.
All right. I don't think we're going to have the same top 3 this time.
All
right. My number 3 is Armenia.
Really?
Okay, I'm assuming that means we don't have the same one. I think there were vast improvements for Armenia. I think the problem with Armenia right now is starting off. And I think that's a concern, that there's going to be so many other memorable songs coming after it. Will it be able to be memorable, or will it fall into obscurity like Azerbaijan did in Semi-Final 1 last year? My hope is not, because there's been so many good improvements, and I really want to see Serba perform multiple times, because she's just such a strong performer, really digging in and getting into it.
Wonderful. My third place is actually Greece, and here is why. I feel as Greece improved quite a bit, because I had good things to say about Greece the last time. I think it was my third place then as well. She stays in my third place. The reason why is the issues I had with before was the camera work was really bad, and it may not necessarily be the Greeks' fault. Maybe, they didn't give the right directions. I don't know. But the point is, with all the elements that the staging has, with the fencing and the big seat that they bring in, the camera work was off, and it didn't make any sense. When they bring out the seat and throw it in the audience, you saw them on the side of the screen or like halfway, and then they were there and they threw it in already, and it was messy. I feel as it came together, and even though there is so much going on stage, it all works. It doesn't feel messy, overcrowded. It seems fluid and just right to me. So I feel they improved a lot. It just feels good, and I have a good feeling about Greece. Therefore, they are in my third place for the day.
They were my fourth. I mean, I'm glad you said they were third, because I wanted to say them, but I just had so many to choose from today.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of options. So, number two.
Number two was, and I've been going back and forth between my second and first. I'm going to say number two, Sweden. So Sweden was my top choice a couple days ago, but I think there's one song that really just edged it today by just a sliver. Sweden, still really fantastic staging, fantastic vocals. There's not much more you can do with that song. I think they're ready to go. Yeah.
That sums it up. My number two is actually Switzerland. And Switzerland to me, and hear me out. It wasn't even it's not even my favorite song previously, right? It's just a kind of song, yeah, it's a fun pop song. I enjoy it when it's on, let's move on. But today he brought the energy. I felt excited. I felt the song. I was into it. I'm like, when did that happen? Luca is so likable, so charismatic, and he hasn't given me it 100% yet. He's probably still at probably 70 or 80% right now. So once he gets in that 100%, it'll be even better. But I think Switzerland and Team Luca won me over today. It was a wonderful performance, wonderful staging. I was absolutely into it. And when you win over someone who wasn't really paying attention to it, I think that counts for something. So there you have it, my number two. Time to find out who is at the very top of your list, Zach. Tell me.
All right, we're close, but close enough. My number one was Switzerland.
Oh, really?
I think Switzerland had some improvements. I mean, honestly, I thought Switzerland was always a good song, but there's a point as I was listening to nothing but 41 songs from Eurovision plus Maruv over the last month, I found myself starting to get a little irritated with Switzerland's song, and I found myself skipping it. And now that I have this image of this performance, which was so strong, so good, I think it's going to go back on my playlist. So I'm really happy with what the Swiss have provided. I feel like this is one where the Swiss knew they have a good chance, and they're really going for it.
Wow, that is interesting. So that would mean that I would have to put Sweden in first place according to that logic, which I did. So my number one is Sweden. And yes, no denying that I like the song. I'm not going to lie about it, but it is true. There is something that John just radiates, and the little things that, they fixed with the lighting and then how they spread out the singers, it adds even more. And John was just smiling after every performance, and he was just so into the moment. It was fantastic.
We're not allowed to do this anymore, because I already know what our one that needs most improving is going to be. So we might as well just go 3.
Hey, wait, I'm not done talking yet.
Oh, I thought you were done.
Well, I guess I am. I thought you wanted to add something.
Supposed to be brief.
Well, yeah, it was pretty brief. Anyway, since you interrupted me, you know my thoughts. I love the Swedish, and this is so good. All right, let's do it.
All right, 3, 2. Oh, wait. One that needs most improving today.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Moldova.
Why?
I think we all know why. They're still trying to figure out what the focus is. I hate to keep making comparisons to Ukraine 2011, but damn it, I mean, it's obvious what the comparison is. The difference is that Ukraine 2011 knew the focus had to be on the sand artists, it had to be on Ksenia, and Moldova's still trying to figure out what the focus is going to be on. Is it going to be on the pre-recorded snow art? Is it going to be on Ksenia doing the snow art now in real time? Or is it going to be on Anna's superior vocals? She is sounding really good. but they're still trying to figure out how to package this performance into something that will be memorable. I am hearing people saying good things about the scene, people say bad things about it. I'm just not buying into it yet.
No, and I'm the same way. And the one, in addition to that, the problem was they don't know what to do with the camera work. I mean, they got like 2 run-throughs in both. Like, it seems like they don't even know what they're doing. They stop halfway through or through the song, and I'm like, oh my god! And then we have that long shot of that just one angle, which makes me believe maybe they're adding a special effect or something that we don't know about. But it just, I can't see that happening, and I just get really. I mean, yes, we get stuck on the whole Ukraine 2011, but it's fair because you brought the same lady back on top of it. It's like bringing the same ice skater back from Russia 2008 or whatever you want to do.
All the grunt work for getting that set up was done prior. Like, it was already done prior, so all they had to do was perform because they already knew what their camera shots were. It was already, everything was synced up. They're still trying to figure that out.
Yes.
And we're a week away from the semifinals, and they really need to get it figured out. And I'm seeing this trend this year where there's a lot more countries that are still figuring it out after the second rehearsal. And it's almost like, this is the part in a reality TV show where Tyra Banks or Simon Cowell or someone say, you really need to get this figured out because I'm not pleased with what I see so far. Yes. And that's really what I'm feeling, is that there's a lot of countries that are still trying to get things figured out, and we don't know whose fault it is yet or what. There's a lot of ruminations going on about who's to blame, but I'm hoping that we're going to see things cleaned up by the first full run-throughs of Semi 1 and Semi 2 next week.
Yes.
And usually we will. I haven't seen a country severely screw things up, and I hope that this year isn't the first year we see that happen.
There you have it. That's exactly. There's nothing else to add. These are our thoughts. Today, long day, but it was so worth it. What are your thoughts? Did you watch the clips that are available on the Eurovision channel? Make sure to do so. You get a little bit of idea of what we're talking about, and leave your thoughts below who your favorites and least favorites were, of course. Love to hear from you. See you all soon. Bye-bye now.